Yo, you guys, this is Blacklist to the Abyss, and you're watching my review for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 3, Stardust Crusaders, Episode 15. Alright, this episode was pretty good, obviously, if I'm reviewing it. Um, the beginning especially was really funny. That was really funny, because, because Polnara starts talking to Enyaba, and without knowing that he killed her son, he keeps bringing up family and her family and sons and stuff. It was just hilarious because and Yaba was getting so pissed. Like it was like, blow her up, I'll kill you. It was funny. It was like, and it wasn't like your typical exaggerated JoJo's Bizarre Adventure fashion. It was hilarious. And eventually, she just couldn't take it anymore and attacked him. But thanks to the warning by Whole Horse, he was actually able to survive. All right, um, the scissors at least. But after that, Inyaba summons her corpse puppets, you know, and Polnareff tries to get away. And he closes his door, stacks a chair up there so that they can't get through. Now he's trying to find another place to go, but he's trapped. And I thought this was strange that he was trapped because he was talking about how the doors were locked and the windows had bars in them, so he couldn't get through. And I'm thinking, wait, so you have a stand that has it's cut through fire, it's cut through light, but apparently it can't cut through bars and doors. I thought that was kind of strange, but whatever. All right, it's he ends up hiding in this bathroom, and we there was so much. This episode had tongue, and more tongue. All right, seriously, all right. This dude Polnareff was getting attacked by tongue. All right, uh, his tongue got cut by another guy's tongue, and Yaba tried to get him to clean the toilet with his tongue, which at the time I was eating, so that was not exactly the best thing to see at the time, but whatever. And lastly, and Yaba used her tongue to show Polnareff how to clean with his tongue. That was the craziest part. He was like, like it was funny. Not as funny as not as funny as Noriaki kakioing with the cherries. That was the funniest. That was that still tops it in my opinion. But this was pretty funny too. All right. And Polnareff looks like he was screwed there, but luckily Jotaro comes to his rescue, though not soon enough because we learned at the end of the episode he did actually touch the toilet with his tongue. But luckily Jotaro saved him from any further tonguing of the toilet. He starts questioning Inyaba, and thanks to all the precautions that he takes, he's able to confirm that she's a stand user because he wanted to make sure that since she used the name Joestar without knowing Joestar, he decided to tell everyone, don't use my name around this woman, don't tell her my name. Yet she ended up knowing his name anyway. And she tried to use the excuse, oh, well, you wrote it in the hotel registry. And he takes the registry and says, no, this is Q-Taro. So clearly you're a stand user. All right, so she ends up attacking him. And she manages to stab him in the leg with that baby. But it doesn't really matter, though, because before she can turn that wound into one of those holes and control Jotaro, he thinks of a way to beat her, and that is to have Star Platinum inhale all of Justice's face, all right, so that it and therefore Enyaba can't breathe because it is trapped inside of Star Platinum, all right. So Enyaba ends up getting defeated. She wasn't killed, but she was defeated, all right. Um, and later on, Kakyoin shows up. Joseph shows up, and Joseph Joestar is the man, right? This dude is just messing with Polnareff. He's got himself laughing. He's on the ground, like banging the floor. It was hilarious, all right? I wish he and Noriaki did a little bit more, because well, mostly Joseph. I don't really care about Noriaki that much, but Joseph, he's probably my favorite Joestar. So, I mean, if there's only him, Jonathan, Jotaro, Holly, they're like the only ones. So Not really much of a selection there, but well, I mean, there are 8 parts out in the manga, but the anime's only gotten this far, and I've only seen as far as the anime. So the only manga that I read from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure was Part One, Phantom Blood, and I didn't care about it too much. But the anime made it more enjoyable. So whatever. Moving on. Joseph's probably one of not my favorite Joestar, and I kind of wish he did more in this. I mean, he had an entire part to himself, but Joseph in Part 3 is different from Joseph in Part 2 because he has a different role. Like in Part 2, he was the guy with the ripples and stuff, and he could just step up and do anything. But here it stands, and this stand isn't meant for battle. But at the same time, so his role is different. But at the same time, it doesn't mean you just have to have him do nothing the entire time. He can still be involved. But in episodes like these, he doesn't even show up until like the last couple minutes. So I just wish they did more with him. Because thinking back, all these stand users that they faced, the greater majority of them have been beaten by Jotaro and Polnareff. I can only remember the one stand user, the Empress, that Joseph beat. Noriaki, I can only remember that mosquito dude from the plane. I honestly don't think he's beaten anyone else. He was involved with Centerfold, but he didn't actually beat him. That was Polnareff. So even that dude that was impersonating Noriaki, Jotaro was the one that ended up beating him. So it's like, well, all the stand users are beaten by Polnareff and Jotaro. So I don't think Abdal beat any. Well, Polnareff, but I'm not counting him because he's part of the crew now. So, but yeah, I just want them to do more. I mean, Noriaki, I don't care much about, but Joseph at least needs more screen time. All right. Anyway, moving on. The last part of the episode, they all decide to bring in Yaba with them to the next town so that Joseph can use Hermit Purple and get answers to their questions via the spirit message that will appear on the TV. All right. And Whole Horse ends up telling them after stealing their car. He ends up telling them that you guys should just finish off Enyaba before you end up regretting it, because he says something about you'll learn Dio's wrath, which means that Enyaba, maybe Dio is going no, never mind. I was going to say Dio will come after them to get Enyaba back, but that's probably not going to happen. He's probably sticking to Egypt, and that's that. Um, but maybe Dio will send like a bunch of stand users after them in order to get Enyaba back, since she was the one who taught him how to. Well, then again, does Dio honestly care that much? He is one of the evilest guys, like one of the most evil people you'll ever meet. Well, maybe he'll send a bunch of stand users out. That's my guess, but they will end up seeing and feeling Dio's wrath if they keep Enyaba alive. So then again, wouldn't they feel it more if they killed her? Maybe Enyaba's just got more tricks up her sleeve. I don't know. But that's that for that. That's that for this episode, you guys. Overall, I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10. I thought it was pretty good. So yeah, that's that. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.